There's other information that we have that we are analyzing to know what is facts. But as you know, I like to deal with the figures because they do speak to me. They give me understanding about what Father is saying to us beyond the written word and beyond what people are saying.
Right.
When I see the news, I kind of see beyond what they're saying, and the numbers to me, they speak and they tell me something. And I don't always bother you with everything that I'm seeing and I'm hearing, but I wanted to do a checkup. I wanted to see where we are so that you know and understand with all the recent events that we are dealing with something here.
I believe that.
Let's see. Let's see if we can reach.
Put it on that. You put it on the thing, honey. It's not going to go.
Okay, something you may notice right away, day of departure. Okay, that should get it. All right, there we go. Good deal. All right, day of departure. This is a figure that most everyone is familiar with. This is one of the pyramids of Egypt. Egypt is famous for its artifacts and pyramids and a host of other things. Something that we need to know about Egypt. Egypt is, or Mizraim as well, is one of the sons of Noah. One of the sons of Noah. So there's something very special about Egypt because it's tying in the first world before the flood and the world after the flood, because Egypt is very much a part of the history of the world and the future, because Egypt, there will be an altar that will be, and this is the only other place that I have read, that there will be an altar where the sacrifices will be taken from the people. The borders of Africa. So the prophecy from the River Nile to Euphrates River will be the land that is given to Israel. All right, now, if you notice on the side here we have revolution. There's a revolution that's taking place in Egypt as we speak. This has been hitting the news of late, very heavy. The Egyptians in crisis. To begin, let's analyze. To begin, we'll analyze what is now taking place in Egypt, with a connection to world events as it connects to scriptural woes, the birth pains of the coming age. Okay, looking at, again, the current events, we will take a look at some of the headlines from the different sources to put things in perspective. Now, what I mean here is I've done some research of different resources, looking at newspaper, a lot of reporting on television and online and different places. So what I've done is I put together a collection of information to see just what's being said so that we can kind of get an idea of what is actually taking place in the world. Now, scripturally, I can tell you right up front that this is going to match up with the 4 horsemen. I want you to keep that in mind. I didn't put it on a slide, but I've talked about it before, that we are now in the presence, basically, of the 4 horsemen. The 4 horsemen are dealing with famine, war, pestilence, and disease. These things we will see in one form or another dealing with the nations of the earth. All right, so any person who's able to read and can see this well enough, if you would read the first bullet for us.
I was able to. I got all her fingerprints on my lens. So
Thank you.
Demonstrations began in Egypt, January 25th, 2011, titled Revolution, to call for the resignation of President Hosni Mubarak.
Thank you. All right, so this started actually on the 25th of January. My report is as of the 4th of January and, the 4th of February. So that's about 10 days that they're on their 11th or 12th now. And there's some very particular things that have taken place during this length of time. They have gone from what was called first peaceful assembly and the call for the resignation of President Mubarak. Then just a couple of days back, they had opposition come in and begin to clear a path for those who wanted to protest against the protesters. So at that point, things really start to get out of hand, because when they came in clearing a path, riding on horses and camels, and I saw a little later as well cars where they were really clearing path, and they didn't care about life, because I saw people doing the video just mowed down like they didn't care, it didn't matter. As well, when the police were involved, they just shot. I saw a teenager as he was, waving, and he just kind of went down. So things kind of really starting to turn for the worse now. Second bullet.
The rally follows reports that U.S. and Egyptian officials are discussing a plan in which Mubarak will step down immediately.
Next.
Opposition supporters rallied in Tahrir Square after prayers in Cairo on February 4th, 2011. A huge day of departure, the rally called for an immediate end to Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak's 30-year rule.
Next.
I am fed up. After 62 years in public service, I have had enough. I want to go, Mubarak said in a 20-minute interview with ABC News.
Now, could day of departure be a remembrance from Yahweh, even to the Greek translation of the Exodus? Let's take a look and analyze this. Day of departure, it speaks of leaving, right? From the Greek translation, they have, they called it Exodus, leaving from Egypt. So here we have Egypt once again hitting major news and crisis that's going on in there. We have the U.S., who's somewhat involved in trying to negotiate from what we hear, and that's basically from one side. You probably have many nations who are speaking to the different sides and then, advising them, but we're always going to hear from one side, which is the side we're in. So,
right.
They want to look like the good guys, but are they really?
Right.
February 4th is when I got this report, and it states that Mubarak has about 30 years of rule, and the people are protesting his style of rule, saying that he was tyrannic and basically just there, you know, fixing the ballots and everything else. So that doesn't really gel with democracy, because democracy pushes of the people, for the people, by the people. And this is a rally cry from, well, we definitely can know, we can see that that's something the U.S. push all around the world, democracy. That seems to be like the religious signature of the United States. We are to push all the nations into a democratic society. 30 years is something that really stuck out when I saw 30 years, and by the 4th day of February, 8 people were said in this particular part to be dead, had died, but there was 900 who was injured. So 9 is a teacher, 8 is renewed beginnings. So right away, I'm having some things that are standing out here, and with this 30 is redemption. But see, you have two sides. You have those who will be redeemed and those who will not. Those who will receive the other side. And he has spent 62 years, and this is a direct quote from him. He said, 62 years, I'm fed up. I'm ready to move on. So basically what we've seen is a back and forth where he says, I'm not giving it up, I'm going to give it up. And the people are saying, get out, get out, get out. So he told ABC News, I'm leaving, I'm getting out. Day of departure. That by itself, when I saw that, now remind you that these are news articles and headlines that I'm pulling, and the title was Day of Departure. So right there by itself, it connected for me to the Exodus.